Now, live on WPRI 12 and on WPRI.com. This is Eyewitness News This Morning. Coverage you can count on.
Police in East Providence making an arrest in connection to a murder investigation. We're working the latest. Plus, we are just hours away now from a memorial dedication in West Warwick, remembering the victims of the Station nightclub fire. Eyewitness News anchor Danielle North will have live reports all morning long. And for many local college students, graduation day is officially here. The real world inching closer now. Pete has your commencement futurecast coming up 6 o'clock now on your Sunday morning, May 21st. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Brian Yacono.
And I'm Pete Mangione. Brian, I would say graduating with honors for today. Some really good weather.
Already out there this morning. Beautiful sunrise. Great Saturday for any events you had there. So finally 2 days in a row we can enjoy.
2 days in a row of comfortable weather, and it's a little bit on the cool side out there this morning, but these temperatures that you're seeing right here, Brian, will be warming up rapidly. So do not be alarmed when you see that 40 degrees in Taunton on the screen.
I know, bummer to be there right now, though.
It is chilly, no doubt about it right now. 42 in Smithfield, 46 Providence, 44 Newport, also 44 in Westerly. And what you'll see happen is as that sun comes up, temperatures warm up fairly rapidly today, and our winds are light. They're out of the southwest right now at 3 miles an hour. The wind will play a big factor, especially at the coast today. So you're going to look at this forecast. It does look similar to yesterday with high temperatures into the upper 60s. In fact, by 9 o'clock in the morning, for some of those morning commencement ceremonies, we're already at around 60 degrees, so warming up about 10 to 15 from now until then. Noontime 65 degrees, 3 p.m. 68. That would be for Providence and points to the north and west like Smithfield, Cumberland. If you're down in Newport or Jamestown, temperatures low to mid 60s with that sea breeze. We'll detail that coastal forecast a bit more. Also talk about some rain on the way to start the work week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Brian.
Pete, thank you. The memorial dedication, years in the making now, just hours away today. Survivors of the Station nightclub fire, first responders and lawmakers all set to attend a ceremony this afternoon. The 1-acre memorial park is being called a place of respect and reflection. It sits on an acre of land where the Station nightclub once stood. Within its boundaries, stones with the names of all 100 victims who died from that fire in February of 2003. Eyewitness News anchor Danielle North has been tracking the memorial's development and its construction since it began. And she joins us now live this morning from the site in West Warwick. Danielle.
Good morning to you, Brian. You know, there were just too many dark moments in the days following that fire 14 years ago. And I remember talking to survivors at the time, and they kept asking the question, you know, will I ever feel happy? Will I ever feel at peace and settled again? And I have to tell you, this week we met an amazing couple in Warwick. They survived the fire 14 years ago. And soon after they escaped the fire, they decided to dedicate their lives to each other. And in the years following, they also decided to dedicate part of their lives to this, helping to make this memorial here in West Warwick a reality.
Kara and Mike Kazmarzik recently celebrated their 10-year wedding anniversary. They'd been dating less than a year when they were at the Station nightclub, the night that so many lives were lost and others changed forever.
We got out the front door. We were amongst the first to get out.
While relieved they made it out safely, it became clear that many others wouldn't. They grappled with survivor's guilt and the shock of the enormous tragedy.
I professed my love for him that night. I remember telling him that I love you.
Without a doubt, it definitely strengthened us. It brought us closer. I mean, you know, I think a week later we pronounced our love for one another.
And it wasn't long after that they were married. Several years ago, they also decided to dedicate part of their lives to the Station Fire Memorial Foundation, helping other volunteers and survivors make this memorial a reality.
We're giving back. We're 7 people. We're survivors. We're people's family members that passed away. This is for us too. This is for us too. We've dealt with it too for 14 years. And we've had to put our pain aside to deal with their pain.
I didn't want that lot to become what could be a T-Mobile store or a CVS or something like that. We don't want a pizza place going up over there. That land
is sacred ground.
That's sacred ground as far as I'm concerned. And anything other than a memorial would have been very sad.
But after years of planning, delays, setbacks, and finally construction, the day they have worked for and waited for is finally here.
I can now be Kara Kazmarzik, Mike Kaz's wife. That's all I ever wanted. And I'm just so happy. I hope and I pray that they like what they see. It's breathtaking to me too, what we have accomplished and how we're honoring our 100. And they deserve it. They went out for a night of a good time, and hopefully they love it too.
And that couple is going to be here today for the dedication this afternoon. You can still see at this early hour there were chairs set up and some tarps covering part of the memorial. Obviously, in the next few hours, all of that is going to change as organizers put the finishing touches on getting ready to welcome people here this afternoon. For now, reporting live in West Warwick, I'm Danielle North. Back to you, Brian.
Danielle, obviously it's early in the day right now. Any idea when organizers expect people to start arriving there today?
Well, from what I'm told, those buses, again, parking is not going to be allowed here near the site. Parking is going to be on Route 2, and there'll be buses bringing in people who want to attend this afternoon. They're guessing probably between 12 and 1 we'll start to see the first crowds arrive. The music begins here at 1, and then the official ceremony will start at 2 o'clock.
All right, Danielle, great reporting this morning. We will see you again in about 30 minutes. And remember, if you are heading through West Warwick today, there are some road closures to keep in mind. Coesit Avenue already closed between Narragansett Avenue and Coit Avenue. It will remain closed until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Vehicles will be detoured around that area. Police do suggest avoiding the area if possible, however. And as Danielle just mentioned, parking for the event is along Route 2, Quaker Lane, right at the MetLife Insurance Company complex. There will be a shuttle bus from that parking area to the memorial site today. And our in-depth coverage of the memorial dedication, it continues online. We have a look back at the victims now being honored in that park, plus how the memorial came together and what each of those pieces included in the design represent and mean. If you cannot make it to West Warwick for the memorial dedication today, we will be live streaming the entire memorial dedication ceremony on WPRI.com. It starts at 2 this afternoon, and then stay with Eyewitness News for in-depth coverage and all of our newscasts throughout the day. Other news we're tracking this weekend, police in East Providence say they have now arrested a 31-year-old man in connection with a suspicious death on Warren Avenue yesterday afternoon. Investigators spent much of Saturday at an apartment near 4th Street. Eyewitness News reporter Abby Burke has the latest developments.
East Providence police were called to the apartments around 4 a.m. Saturday for an alleged hit and run, but they said right away things weren't adding up. The victim, 41-year-old Jennifer Silva, was found in the back parking lot with significant injuries. Her boyfriend, 31-year-old Alan Hansen, told police she had been hit by a car.
He had been reporting to police that her injuries, the victim's injuries, had been caused by a motor vehicle striking her. This was inconsistent with what we saw on scene.
Silva was taken to Rhode Island Hospital, where she later died from her injuries.
Injuries to the victim basically have come from a very violent domestic violence altercation, and not at all from a motor vehicle hitting her.
Hansen was arrested on charges of domestic first-degree murder and will be arraigned on Monday in district court. Police also want to remind the community to report any signs of domestic violence right away.
Call us. You can remain anonymous. We can check out things that happen and don't happen. And you know, if nothing happened, it's no harm, no foul. But in the event something like this happens, you know, hopefully we could get there and interject sooner and then save somebody.
That was Abby Burke reporting. An autopsy will be completed to determine the official cause of Silva's death. A car we know was also towed away from that scene. Police say that car was not connected to any of Silva's injuries. Now to a story we first brought you last night on Eyewitness News. Police in Taunton say they found the body, in the Taunton River on Saturday. Pinpoint News Tracker taking you to that scene. The Taunton 911 system receiving a call from 2 people canoeing down the Taunton River right near Power Street and Duffy Drive. They say they found that body in debris there. Police say at this point the person appears to be a man in his 40s. No cause of death is known at this point. 6:09 is your time on a Sunday morning. More local coverage coming up on Eyewitness News. Funeral arrangements for a well-known singer who died in Michigan last week now set. We'll have those details coming up. And several local colleges sending students into the real world this morning. We'll explain after the break.